Now the topic before us is how can I find a career counselor, and the next is career counseling process. Now the first question is how can I find a career counselor? We have already discussed when we should seek the services of career counselor. After having decided when we should use the services, now the question arises from where I should find a career counselor. There are different ways in which we can find the right counselor or coach. As already told, we may write counselor in this way. This is a British English. In the case of American English, there will be single L. Both are the same words, convey the same meaning. It is up to you to write the counselor in the manner in as per the English which is used in your country. Now we come to the main point. We can find a right counselor, career counselor, by contacting educational institution. We may go to our university or college where we have studied. They may be providing career counseling facilities. Even otherwise, it they are not providing the career counseling facilities. They may at least have a list of the career counselors who can provide you career counseling. Next is contact with your local government or social services agency. Many government and social services agencies offer the career counseling services. Next is search engines. Search online for career counselors in your area. If you search online, you will find many websites or directories that list career counselors such as National Career Development Association or International Coaching Federation. You can also use the services of search engines such as Google, Bing, or other to look for career counselors or career coaching services in your area. Next is ask for recommendations from friends, family, or colleagues or other professionals. It may be quite possible that some of your friend, some of your relative, or some of your colleague might have used the services of a career counselor in their life. You can go to them and ask from them from where they avail the services. It can be a great way to find the right career counselor because it is quite possible that they will guide you properly in finding the right career counselor. Next is check with professional associations related to your field or industry. They often have career development resources or a list of recommended career counselors. Next is utilize social media and online communities. You can join career related groups on social media platforms such as LinkedIn or Facebook. You can also ask for recommendations or seek advice from professionals in these communities. Next is review credentials and experience. When you find that there are there is a list of career counselors from where you can avail the services, then you should review their credentials one by one, such as certifications in career counseling or related fields. You should look what is the experience of the particular career counselor, what is the specialized area, his specialized area, and what are the reviews of the clients if available. Next is schedule consultation. Once you have identified potential career counselors, you should fix consultation or initial meeting with him or her. By doing so, you will have a chance to assess the communication style of the counselor, what is the approach of the career counselor, and whether you will be in a comfortable position while you will be working with the career counselor. Next is ask questions. When you are having a meeting or initial consultation with the career counselor, you should ask questions about what will be the career counseling process, what will be the fees charged, and you should also explain to the career counselor what you expect from the services. You should be clear in your mind about your goals and expectations. Next point is trust your instincts. Ultimately, you should choose a career counselor where you feel comfortable with. If you feel that will not be comfortable with a particular career counselor, you should not go in for using the services of that career counselor. You should choose a career counselor you are comfortable with and who understands your needs and goals. You should trust your instincts and make an informed decision. If it may happen that you are in very haste and want to decide a career counselor immediately, and you go in for package career counseling, you make him upfront payment, and later on you find that this career counselor is not providing good service, or you are not feeling comfortable with, then you will feel sad, because either then you will have to go in for other career counselor and make the payment once again. So you should take your own time while you decide which career counselor is best for you. You should do thorough research while you are finalizing the name of the career counselor. Next is career counseling process. Here we will be discussing about the career counseling process very briefly. From the next course onwards, we will be discussing the career counseling process in full detail. That is, what type of services are provided by the career counselor, what you should expect from the career counselor, and how and why career counseling process is beneficial for you. We will discuss all in detail from the next course onwards. So here we will only briefly discuss the career counseling process. Career counseling should be specific and individual to the client. However, career counseling process normally includes the following. First is knowing the client. Career counseling may include knowing the client, that is racial identity, health and physical status, what is the family status of the client, what is the educational background of the client. Next is listening the client actively, attentively. so that the career counselor may understand the client's story and may also understand his hopes, dreams, aspirations, his long-term goals, his short-term goals. Inquiring. Career counselor should be naturally curious. Career counseling process includes using questions to get more knowledge about the client's previous roles, past successes, who are the role models of the client. The career counselor should greet and notice the client using verbal and non-verbal signals. In our course on communication skills or communication process, we have discussed in detail about the verbal and non-verbal communication. The verbal and non-verbal cues communication also says many things. So the career counselor should carefully understand the verbal and non-verbal signals. Supporting, encouraging and praising their efforts. Career counselor should encourage the client. He should praise the efforts so far which have been made by the client. Next is identifying blockers. Career counselor during the career counseling process has to recognize what is stopping or could stop his client from achieving his goals. What are the blockers which are preventing the client from achieving his desired career goal? Next point in the career counseling process is action planning. The career counseling counselor has to decide the steps which should be taken so that the client may achieve the desired career goal. Now we will like to conclude this course. The decision regarding career is one of the major decisions of our lives. We should take the decision regarding our career after taking into consideration our skills, aptitudes, values, our past experience, etc. Normally, we choose career or job on the basis of wishes of our parents, suggestions of our friends, and the payout of the relevant career. We should choose the career on the basis of our strengths, aptitudes, interests, qualification, values, etc. As every industry is facing the winds of change, artificial intelligence and technology is changing the scenario in almost all the industries. So we may also have to change career due to change in the job environment or personal circumstances, or there may be change in our goals and interests with the passage of time. Career counseling helps us to understand our strengths, interests, abilities, and skills so that we may take a good, informed decision about our career, so that we may not feel job stress or dissatisfaction when we are doing the job. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.